Hi, I'm Sean Palmer, and on today's Texas Family Law Vlog, we'll address the question, how can I co-parent with someone I can't even have a civil relationship with? Divorce presents us with problems that don't have easy answers. The advantages of co-parenting after divorce are clear. By both parents participating in decision-making, both parents are actively engaged in a child's life. But for most parents, having a low or no conflict relationship after the bitter struggle of divorce is not just unrealistic, it's downright impossible. But if parents don't consciously try to reduce conflict, one or the other may take the matter back to court, which will cause stress and chaotic uncertainty while the case is pending, and may produce undesired results from the court, who's going to modify the custody, usually in a cookie-cutter way, which may worsen your situation. Certainly taking an ex back to court to modify a custody order will cost a lot of money and will only worsen the relationship between the ex-spouses and make it even harder for them to communicate and co-parent in the near future. One fact is that after the divorce, parents no longer have a real incentive to compromise. Often there's one parent who's willing to cooperate at the beginning, but after some arguments and insults, they no longer cooperate and the relationship slides into chaos. It's important to view co-parenting as both a short and long-term venture. Very few divorced couples have respectful, cooperative relationships soon after divorce. But if you feel that it is how it is always going to be, you shouldn't give in to your more negative emotions. While you may never consider the other parent your best friend, most parents eventually settle into a civil relationship for the sake of the children. To do this earlier than later, it is helpful to keep in mind the following 8 tips. Tip 1, redefine your relationship. Try to see the ex not as a friend, but as a business partner, and your child as a business. Tip 2, choose your battles. Recognize that you have some control over your child, but there are some things you just can't control. You can only do the best with the control that you have. Tip 3, respect your ex's relationship with your child. You have a unique relationship with your child, but your ex has an equal and separate relationship. Unless there is abuse, your ex's relationship is important to your child's well-being. Don't interfere or sabotage that relationship. This means not just overt sabotage, such as keeping the child from having contact with the other parent, but also subtle sabotage, such as bad-mouthing your spouse in front of your child. Tip 4, if you have a legitimate concern about your ex's parenting, try to be diplomatic in how you bring it up. Instead of saying, you should, try saying, perhaps just consider. Instead of, I think you ought to, try, obviously it's up to you. The point is, of course, to acknowledge that the other parent has a say in your child. And before you contact the other parent, you should mentally prepare yourself to resist the urge to explode in anger, call names, or shut down the communication. Whether you succeed in avoiding a fight over the issue or not, you will find that a little effort on your part will go a long way to your concern actually being addressed. Tip 5. Make it a point to ensure your ex is included in your child's life. If you get information about an event in your child's school, extracurricular activities, and other important occasions in your child's life, inform the other parent as soon as possible. It's hard to be angry with someone who's making a real effort to keep you in the loop. Tip 6. Be flexible. Work with your ex to accommodate special occasions. Life is not always on a schedule. Be willing to switch weekends or modify pickup times or drop-off times. Hopefully the other parent will reciprocate when you want some flexibility. But even if they don't, remember, your flexibility is often for your child's benefit, not for the other parents. Tip 7. Co-parenting does not mean equal parenting. Just because you share time with your child doesn't mean that each parent will be all things to a child during that time. We all fall into natural roles in parenting, and that doesn't change because of an artificial court order. One parent may be more naturally and emotionally nurturing parent. Another may be more experientially stimulating as a parent. There are many roles to play as a parent, and we have to acknowledge that we can't be all things at all times. It doesn't make your ex a bad parent if they aren't playing the same role as you. Your child will thrive if all aspects of parenting are given by both parents, perhaps not equally, but in their time. Tip 8. Whenever you're making a decision about your child, put her best interest as the first consideration. Try to separate your personal issues from your ex, from your decision that you're making for your child. Don't say no just because your ex says yes. Especially soon after a divorce, you may need to get the advice of someone with a little less emotionally charged. Persons such as family members, friends, clergy, or therapists. When making a decision, you need to hold your child's best interest in mind and put down that old emotional baggage. Most parents want to do what's right for their children, but the intense emotions of divorce often cloud their views. Being a successful co-parent means being self-disciplined in your communications with the other parent and raising your child's needs above your own. It may be difficult now, but if you keep trying your best, co-parenting will get easier over time.